Hello, my darlings. All right. So I guess today I'll talk to you a little bit about judgment. Ooh. um, we try to pretend as humans that we are above judging others, that we won't get judged. You hear a lot like, oh, after an embarrassing thing, they won't remember that. Sometimes they do. If something happens to you, if you fall down somewhere, if you get your period and it leaks through, it happens. Um, if you mess up words when you're reading aloud at school, if you any of the things day to day, if you drop your food all over the floor in the cafeteria, these things are stuff that happens. It happens to everyone. Even the coolest kids sometimes have moments where things happen. That you can't keep yourself from being klutzy and clumsy sometimes. You can't keep your body from having, like something like your period. You can't stop it. It's human nature. Sometimes it's gonna come and you don't know it's coming, and oops, that stinks. And sometimes people will remember, some things, and I don't want to tell you like, oh, it's no big deal. It matters because it made you feel a certain way, and that stinks. I'm sorry. What I will say is that we all go through them, and sometimes the worst moments of your life, as far as like the most embarrassing, the things that you've done that you get judged for, blamed for, sometimes those things can be really important because one, they can teach you what not to do in the future, how to prepare yourself better in the future. They teach you how to be nicer to other people when they experience things like that. And also they teach you who your real friends are, who really cares about you. The people that step up when you're at these moments of crazy embarrassment, and they pick you up off the ground, and dust you off. They're they give you hope, and they give you love, and they show you something about the world that's better than all that. For example, here you go. When I was, oh, I don't know, 12 maybe, I had really, really fluffy, crazy hair. It was worse than it is now, than it could ever be now. And I couldn't really do anything about it. It was just part of who I was. And at school, we were doing this dance thing. They had this Parents' Day that they were preparing for, and they were teaching us how to do this. I forget what kind of music it was, but swing music. There we go. It was back when swing was in. We don't really talk about that time in history anymore, but there was a swing thing going on, and we were practicing, and at one point I fell down and I hit my head, and it wasn't really embarrassing as much as it hurt. It stunk. Ow. I just fell down and hit my head. What was embarrassing was that afterwards a couple of the boys laughed and said, with hair like that, you must have had lots of padding. That couldn't have possibly hurt because you have a helmet on your head. I had heard, you look like you stuck your finger in a light socket and blah, blah, blah. There's this thing about me that I can't really control. It's my hair, and I've tried, and, there's been good years, and there's been bad years, and there's been ways to maintain it, and there's been ways that I couldn't. And as a 33-year-old woman now, I just kind of accept it, and it doesn't always look great in pictures, but I can't afford to go to a salon every week, so it is what it is. But as a 12-year-old girl who has just hurt herself and really would expect people to be like, oh, are you all right? And, you know, I'll dust myself off and I'll get back up. To have people make fun of me in that moment, and laugh at me, I don't know if they remember. They probably don't, because they made fun of me. People tend to forget the moments where they actually stand up and they're literal just jerks. But I will say, from that moment, two of the girls who were friends of mine took me away from the situation. They brought me to the bathroom, and I was crying because I got made fun of, and it hurt my feelings. And one of my friends, she ran my wrist under cool water to calm me down, and they just sat with me and just asked if I was okay, and they were kind. And it mattered. It was, I remember that day. I remember that it hurt. I remember that people were cruel and that hurt. And I also remember being taken from the situation and cared about and taken care of, loved, two people being considerate enough to say, it's not okay what they did, you're all right, I'm sorry this happened. All of it mattered. Judgment is there. People judge your hair, they judge your skin, which mine is obviously terrible. I'm 33. If it ain't going away yet, it ain't gonna go away. It's just who I am. And people are gonna judge me for how I look. They're gonna judge me for the things I say. They're gonna judge me for how I raise you guys, for our house, for our car, for our... who knows? I hear stuff all the time, little snide remarks that I don't think people intend to be snide. They just have their own ways and their own views and opinions, and I probably say stuff that I don't intend to say that comes off weird to some people sometimes, and I'm sorry that I do if I do. I try very actively to not judge people and to not be cruel or rude or judgmental, but I'm sure it happens because people do. It's just part of life. We are part of a society, and part of being in a group is that sometimes people do things that are against the way that you feel things should be done, and you talk to other people about it that seem to share your same ideas. It's just part of it bonds you guys together, and it also reaffirms what you're doing in life, makes you feel better about what you're doing. And sometimes you talk about people, not like, oh, can you believe Sarah has that haircut? Sometimes you're like, oh my God, Sarah has a really nice haircut, and I really want that. Sometimes it's about coveting other people's stuff. We as humans tend to do this a lot. It's just we judge where we are in society, in our groups, in our life, by the lives and groups around us that we see. This only gets worse and more perpetuated through things like Instagram and Facebook, and the ability to see celebrities and the stuff that they have and the places that they go. We're not celebrities. I don't know. You guys are beautiful. You're talented. You're smart. You're wise. I don't know what you're going to be when you grow up. You can be anything. I try to encourage you guys to just do whatever feels good. So if you guys want to be actors, or if you want to be painters, or you want to be musicians, that's cool. If you want to be doctors or lawyers or work at the dump down the street, that's cool. Don't care as long as you're happy. So I'm not going to judge your choices in life. You can be gay, straight, you can be with a black person, a Chinese person, you can be with a Middle Eastern woman who is 57, as long as you're of a legal age, as long as you're over 21. If that's what makes you happy, I'm all for it. That's fine. I just want you guys to be happy. But the world's going to judge you for whatever choices you make. No matter what choice you make, even if it's supposedly the best choice in the world, even if you have the most money and the most stuff and you will be judged for something. That's the way that life works. And I'm not going to say it's not going to hurt. It always hurts in a way, especially if it's people that you respect and admire, if they make you feel bad about who you are, the choices you make, the things that you do, it hurts. The trick is to try to find a way to use that hurt to do more. Like, look at everything. If somebody says, oh my God, I hate her clothes, okay? You can feel that. It's okay. You're allowed to feel pain in that. That stinks. Now, what I'd like for you to do is to think about that. Do you like your clothes? Do you like them? Do they make you feel pretty or sexy or in control? Do they make you feel powerful? Do they make you feel good? Do they, I know it's just clothes, but confidence is very important. Do they make you feel confident? Do you walk out of the door in your clothes? Like, I wear a lot of sweatshirt hoodies because I'm comfortable. They make me feel safe and warm and snuggly, and that's what I like to wear. Does your stuff make you feel safe and warm and comfy and whatever? Or do you really not like it yourself? I want everything that you get made fun of for, everything that you decide to do that you get judged about, I want you to sit down and think about each thing. If you hear somebody say something negative, you think about it. If it makes you feel good, the thing that they're talking about, then what does it matter? You're happy, and that's what matters. That's the key. If you think about it and you go, you know what, I really don't like the way that I dress. I don't like the way that my hair is. I don't like the way that my house is. I don't like the way that the trips that I take, the stuff that I eat. If you contemplate these things that you hear around you and you don't like them, then you can actively think about how you would like to make things better, and then think about how you want to and do it. Not how. Now, if they say something about your clothes and you decide you don't like your clothes, don't just go out and get the thing that they say is cool, because honestly, things change all the time. You buying stuff to please other people is just ridiculous. It's never going to make you happy. It's never going to make them happy. Even if you get all the newest, coolest stuff, they're just going to be jealous of it or whatever. It's ridiculous. It's a cycle of hell that you really don't need to be part of. If you're not happy with something, think about it for yourself and make yourself happy. Find a way that you're content. That's all you can do. Life is going to be thing after thing after thing, moment after moment after moment of making choice after choice after choice, changing yourself, keeping yourself the way you are, staying strong, breaking down. Sometimes you have to break down to build yourself back up in a different way. All of this stuff is important and it's all vital. And you don't have to do things just because other people make fun of you for it, because there's always going to be somebody that wants to laugh at you or wants to judge you or wants to roll their eyes. That doesn't matter. What matters is that you are happy with your stuff and that you find people. Like, I have a group now of girls, of ladies, of women who are really awesome, and they're geek nerdy, and they like the stuff that I like, and they're into it. They don't always do the exact things that I do. I don't do the things that they do exactly. We all have our different strengths and skills and likes and wants, but we have a lot of similarities in common, and we care about a lot of the same things, and we're able to say those things about you that are different. I get to learn new things because of it, and that's cool. Instead of looking at each other and going, why do you do that? We look at each other and say, why do you do that? Oh, cool. All right. You can learn from those differences instead of making fun of them or judging them. If you can surround yourself with people that not necessarily are exactly like you, but that are akin to you enough that they make you feel comfortable with the choices that you make, and you guys can learn from each other and, be content in yourself, then cool. That's what I want for you. So people are going to judge you. The world kind of stinks. It's full of pretty terrible people. But there's always somebody that's going to bring you to the bathroom and take care of you. And if it's not me, find that person, because those are the people you want to focus on, not the ones saying, haha, your hair. All right. I love you. And I will talk to you soon. Bye, babies.